Hello, I'm Ellie Bateman. I'm Senior Public Affairs Officer at the NRLA, and I'm going to give an update on the Leasehold and Freehold Reform Bill, which was the last piece of legislation to make it through at Wash-up on the 24th of May to become the Leasehold and Freehold Reform Act. So the reforms broadly aimed to bring an end to the leasehold system, and the Act doesn't go that far. When implemented, the Act will ban the creation of new residential leases for houses, but it will permit new leases to be created for flats, and that's largely because of a lack of progress around common hold, which is the preferred alternative tenure to leasehold. The Act aims to make it cheaper and easier for a leaseholder to extend their lease, but we will need to wait and see whether this is the case. The vast majority of the key provisions in the Act require secondary legislation to be laid, and of course that will be for an incoming government to do, so we are going to have to wait and see what plays out there. The Act removes the requirement for leaseholders to pay freeholders' costs when enfranchising, and it also removes the requirement for a leaseholder to pay marriage value, both of which should in theory reduce the costs associated with lease extension. But the Act gives the Secretary of State, whoever that will be, powers to set the rates used to calculate lease premiums. And again, we don't know what those are going to be. We also don't know how the market is likely to react. Any perceived relative increase in the value of leases could offset savings made elsewhere. There are also some other key elements missing from the Act. Ground rent was consulted on earlier in the year, and widely reported that the government were going to introduce reforms to ground rent, but due to time constraints they weren't included in the Act. And the Act also fails to resolve the issue of non-qualifying leaseholders under the Building Safety Act. So all of these issues are going to have to be picked up by the next government.